Yeah, that's right, we are back. Today I'm pretty excited because I'm in Birmingham at Creation Skatepark. Now we're having a bit of a cold snap in the UK and it is absolutely freezing. So I got all my snowboard gear on and I thought I'd have a go on their spine ramp. The spine ramp is pretty manageable, it's about 3 to 3.5 foot. So I thought it'd be perfect to relearn some of my old spine transfer tricks and also try my hand at some new spine transfer tricks. Okay, so the spine ramp here at Creation's a bit of a corker. It's got double coping on the spine, it's nice and whippy, and the coping sticks out a nice long way, so there's plenty to grip onto. I'm going to warm up by revisiting some of my old spine transfer tricks. These are the blunt over the spine, going over the spine forwards on a rock, and also coming backwards over the spine on a rock, and also doing a fakey frontside axle stall, which then turns into a backside axle stall over the spine. Okay, this spine ramp's really nice to ride, pretty manageable in size, so those tricks came back fairly easily. Now I'm going to go into my first trick battle. I'm going to try and do a spin on the nose and then go back over the top fakie. Crikey, that was a bit harder than I thought. The problem I had was trying to stop the rotation. And of course, the trick was to square off my shoulders, but that felt super scary to do. Also, I needed to get my body up onto the top of the spine and go over. And the thing I found with spine transfer tricks is I need to actually want to go over the spine. I know it sounds silly, but there is no way I'm going to go over the top if I'm dilly-dallying around with not enough over the top inertia. The next one I'm going to try is one I've been wanting to do for a while, which is the fakey frontside pivot over on the spine, which turns into a backside pivot when you come back in. Okay, that one's pretty scary. Again, the problem I was having was not rotating through and also not placing myself up on the top of the spine with enough inertia to go over. I'm used to doing fakey pivots and then coming back in, so I'm not used to keeping my shoulders going round across the top of the spine. I cheated a little bit by practicing a drill on the part of the mini ramp that doesn't have a spine, and that was to try and do the fakey pivot and then come round and land on the deck as if I was coming back in. Once I got the feeling for that, I could then transfer that onto the spine and it all came together. Next up, I'm going to try a few axle stall combinations. So maybe come in for a frontside axle stall, which will then turn into a backside axle stall, and also try the backside axle stall, which will turn into a frontside axle stall. Okay, those are really fun, and again the key was to try and throw myself over the top of the ramp and then just commit to coming back in. I found that if I dilly-dallied on the top, that's when things got a little bit scary. And I think the trick with all of these spine transfers is commitment and also going over there with the intention of going over there. I have to say I really enjoy a session on the spine. It's a little bit risky, and when it goes wrong it tends to go wrong quickly. I came a cropper a couple of times, and combined with today's freezing temperatures, it was fairly emotional. Just had to get up, dust myself off and crack on. Okay, I've travelled up to Graystone Action Sports in Manchester, and overnight it occurred to me that I could try a sneaky board slide across the spine. I have some experience of doing the board slide to fakie and also doing a little nose spin and then doing a sort of lip slide with the fakie rock out. So I figure I've got all the component pieces in the locker. I just need to piece them together and also work out how to slide on the top of that spine. Just to warm up, I'm going to try a few rock to fakies and also a few fakie rocks just to get used to clearing the wheels on the way in and clearing the wheels on the way out. Then I'm just going to try a few and see what happens. Okay, managed to get a micro make. I'm finding the more speed I can take into the slide, the better. At the moment it's a little bit sticky, so if I just sort of dilly-dally, everything tends to go slowly, and that requires more balance, and there can be an issue. I find for the bail, the best option is to kick the board away, be it backwards or forwards. Just don't want to get caught back up onto that board. So in these next set of attempts, I'm really going to try and go as fast as I can, try and scissor the board as hard as I can, carry as much speed as possible, and also get courageous with coming back in. I'm finding that I need to just get the right balance on top. If I'm too far on top, the board will go a long way, but I'll never get over the other side from the transfer. If I commit too far over the top, I end up coming off prematurely and not having that big a slide, and also coming in with loads of speed, which is pretty scary. So just a bit of trial and error to find the balance. Crikey, that's pretty exciting. Came a cropper a few times and I have to say it's pretty emotional. It's about -5 degrees here in Manchester today. I found the key with this one is to go as fast as possible and also try and scissor as hard as possible sideways. And then coming back in is just a bit of a commitment thing. I found it quite helpful to almost pop off the nose, try and unweight the feet, so even if the back wheels did catch a bit, it wouldn't get completely hooked up and go over the front. Well, that's it for this video. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit subscribe. I make new videos every week. You can also follow me on Instagram @JohnBishopSkate. As ever, my name's been John Bishop, and I'm a middle-aged guy learning how to skate.